So what is up, everyone? Today is Wednesday, January 7th. I will be trading the Nasdaq like I always do. So I'm coming into the session with a bullish bias. The reason for that, so I'll start on the daily. So honestly, I was talking about, like, if you guys remember from a while ago, like, this is probably the last time I'm going to bring this up, but this daily fair value gap right here, like, I said it got inverted, so I was like, higher time frame, in theory, we should be bearish, but I kept bringing up, there's that economic news with, like, the Venezuela stuff, so in theory, like, that could mean we could give bearish structure, and it could mean absolutely nothing, right? But, what's up, Bakakenu? How are you, bro? Glad to see you here again. But so I was correct, right? Like I said the second we closed through this daily, I was like, honestly, it's probably gonna mean nothing, right? So like when you look at the 4 hour, we ended up coming up. We inverted this 4 hour fair value gap. He said today's Christmas in our country. Well, happy Christmas, Bakakenu. And Ace said, Tim, what's up? What's up, Ace? But so we inverted this 4 hour gap right here. So we did take this high, so it doesn't mean as much anymore. But like lower time frame, one thing I was looking at, even though we inverted like this 4 hour gap right here, which normally would make me be like, oh, maybe we have to like be bearish for a little bit. The thing is, when I zoomed into the 1 hour, so on the 1 hour, we're actually trading inside of this 1 hour fair value gap. And we actually put in an SMT like inside of that gap. So like, I feel like it's not too clear when you're just looking at the chart. But when you mark out the sessions. So one thing I noticed when I was drawing out all my session highs and lows was, so here. So New York PM session. So NQ actually took out the low of New York PM session. But ES actually failed to do so. So that right there is like a session SMT, as well as inside London was right after London. There's this another SMT, right? So you can see like NQ never swept out London session low, but ES actually took out, I think my face might be in the way, but ES took out the low of London session, right? So you like a double SMT, and I feel like there's also all this low resistance liquidity built up here with all these highs. So I definitely could see this getting ran. But I pretty much need to be reactionary, right? Like if we start dumping and we just keep dumping, I can't just stay bullish forever, but oh, and Kane says morning. What's up? Morning, bro. Did I say your name right? Said I was thinking the same way. Good to hear it, bro. I'm glad to hear it. And one thing I'm seeing right now is I feel like at the open, ES and NQ are currently moving different ways. Like if you look right now, NQ is actually breaking above this high, right? But ES is actually breaking below this low right now. So at the open, they pretty much just went opposite ways. Kind of interesting to see. I mean, it's probably just putting in an SMT at the lows, if I had to guess, but good morning, Samuel. How are you? And so the other thing I do got to keep in mind is, so today there is red folder news at 10 a.m. So if it starts getting too close to 10 a.m., I'm probably just going to wait for the news to drop. And sometimes news releases give us like some good structure as well. Because it's the ISM services PMI and the JOLTS job openings. This 8:15 news did like nothing. You said, what's your bias in NQ, Tim, news today? Yeah, so right now I'm bullish. I feel like the main draw I'm looking to see get hit on NQ at least is I want to see previous week's high get hit. But right now, I'm not seeing too much clear structure. I mean, it's possible I could wait for, like, I think what's probably going to end up happening is I'm probably going to wait until after 10 a.m. for that news to come out. Because I prefer not to hold trades through news if I get the option. But if I get a clear setup really early on, then I'll take it. But because maybe at 9:40, we might have to open up like a 5-minute gap here, maybe. like pull back into it, maybe react out of it. That'd be like the main thing I'd be looking to take. Because I see like right now, we're running all these stacked highs up here right now. Honestly, we might just run all of them right now. We'll see. You said ES took Asia high, NQ is still trying. I guess Asia high is probably like somewhere up here, if I had to guess. Yeah, NQ is really close to Asia high. I guess, did ES make equal highs? Interesting. I feel like the only time my chart actually has some colors on it is when I put like the session indicator. It's possible we might not even open up a 5-minute gap here. We're just dumping, which is kind of surprising. We came like 2.5 points away from Asia high. You said we do have a small gap at NQ create equal high too? I mean, yeah, right now there's still a small gap being created. Are these exact equal highs? Wow, those are exactly equal highs. Thank you for pointing that out. I probably should have seen that. That's a good target up there. Honestly, if we can pull back into this 5-minute gap before we take out these equal highs, I'd probably look for a long off that. Because I honestly, like, these are swing equal highs. Like, there's different types of equal highs. And this right here, like, this is a significant swing point. What did I hit? Like, that's a significant swing point. And the other one we just created right now is also kind of like a swing point. Kind of, because, like, we traded to it. Now we've traded away from it. So I still gotta wait like a minute and a half for this 5-minute gap to open up. I don't know why. I feel like I'm just not gonna get a setup on this, but I would love to get an entry. Like if we can pull back to this 5-minute in the next like 50 seconds. No, I'm not getting an entry. Yeah, those are, I feel like those are so getting hit. I'd be really surprised if these don't get hit. Yeah. Oh, so I can't target that anymore. It's probably gonna hit Asia high now too. Yeah. So I guess we're probably running all this like low resistance liquidity. So I mean, the next target after this, like I'd want to see at least some form of pullback, obviously first. But the next bullish target I could see is like a previous week's high up here. But what? So now it's like 20 minutes until news at 10 a.m. It's looking like I'm probably gonna have to wait for 10 a.m. news to come out to take a trade at this point. And we're just ripping up. We took out all these highs over here. So I mean, this isn't low resistance liquidity anymore. I'd prefer if we don't hit previous week's high before the 10 a.m. news. So I feel like it's a clear draw. But the way we're moving, we might just hit it. Because like, if you look at the economic calendar, like at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, there's the ISM Services PMI and the JOLTS jobs openings. And there's definitely a chance that could like move the market a significant amount. And at this point too, like the only 5-minute gap, I guess there's a tiny 5-minute gap like over here, but I feel like this one is so tiny it just means nothing to me, if that makes sense. You said, how do you get two ticker windows next to each other like you do? So in the top right of TradingView, you guys can see this. So like it's like next to the chart layout. There's like this little, it should be like a single box for you. Like you should probably have this one selected by default. So if you click that little big box, number 2 means like 2 charts. So you can either do them like side by side, or if you wanted to, you could even do them like up and down. I think it looks really funny like this. But and if you want to, you could do like 3 charts too. And if TradingView doesn't let you do it for any reason, you probably got to pay. So I want to say, I don't know which plan you need. It'll probably tell you, but I think you need one of the paid plans to do that. You said, thanks, Tim. Always got the tips for free. Yeah, of course. That's why I'm here. You said, yeah, you do it. Won't let me do it. Yeah, that's what I thought. I guess, do you trade on Project X? Because, I don't know if you use Project X. I'm not even saying they're the best place to trade, but you actually can do the same thing on Project X, just so you know. So, I mean, I did it without showing you, I guess. But essentially, like, you do the same thing I did before, right? You select those 2 things, and then they might be linked. Do you see this? Like, there's this indicator, it says link. I actually had to delete it on the right side. And then, I just typed up here. Well, I guess I just double tapped up How did I change? I just did it. Oh, you click the right side of the chart, and then you come up here to the top left, and you can change it to ES. So like right now I have ES and NQ. You said, are you on TradingView? Well, I mean, this right here is TradingView. That thing I had up like 5 seconds ago was Project X. You said never used Project X before. I might have to try it out. I'm pretty sure Alpha Futures is still offering Project X for a little bit. I know Top Step wants to make it so it's like an only them thing. Does that make sense? But it's called Alpha Ticks at Alpha Futures. If you want to try it out. I want to say they're still accepting new purchases on that. Yeah, it looks like you can still use Project X for now. So I mean, so since my trading plan relies on me waiting for a pullback into a 5 or a 15-minute gap, like at this point, I don't think I'm really going to get that far enough away from news that I feel comfortable to like take a trade. Because like, I mean, like even if we were to open up like this 5-minute gap right here, like pull back into it, get a reaction out of it, that would be like really close to news. So I'm probably just waiting for 10 a.m. news at this point. Said, honestly, how's it going, mate? Pretty good. How about you? Said, waiting for 10 a.m. Perfect time to eat. I don't know if you mean like literally eat food. I mean, it would be a good time if you want to go eat some literal food, but I feel like 10 a.m. though is like a really good time to trade. I feel like I talk about this all the time, but like in case like you guys like are new here or anything, like I always pay attention to like 10 a.m. really hard because 10 a.m. is significant for multiple reasons, right? Like you got to think like on the higher time frame, 10 a.m. is when we open up a new 4-hour candle. And typically, these 4-hour candles, they usually have wicks on each side, like typically. So the thing is, if 10 a.m. is going to open, a lot of times we're going to manipulate the opposite way the candle wants to move. And then you can keep that in mind, right? So like if 10 a.m. opens, we manipulate down at 10 a.m., but we're bullish higher time frame. Like I'll keep that in mind. You said 10 a.m. Pacific time? No, it's Eastern Standard Time. And the other thing is though, so not only is it a new 4-hour candle, it's also a new 1-hour candle. And it's the same thing with the 1 hour though. Like I feel like a lot of these 1-hour candles, they typically form wicks on each side. So when the candle first opened up, like we think about accumulation, manipulation, distribution, right? We might accumulate for a bit, we're going to manipulate in the opposite direction, and then we distribute the intended direction of the candle, right? But I pretty much just like, when 10 a.m. opens, I pretty much just put a line on my chart sometimes. Sometimes I just mentally do it, but I'll just mark out like 10 a.m. open. And I'll look for, like, let's say if I'm bullish, I'll look for buys above 10 a.m. or below 10 a.m., sorry. Because, like, I feel like people talk about premium and discount. Like, you can draw, like, this range from this low to this high and say, yeah, like, in terms of premium and discount, like, this is 50% of this range. But I also look at premium and discount in terms of time, right? Like if we retrace to discount of a range and we're also in a time discount, like let's say if we open up 10 a.m. and we're below 10 a.m., it's like even higher of a rated setup, if that makes sense. You said, are you a full-time trader or do you have another job? So I'm currently a part-time trader. I also work a part-time job. So I don't work like a full-time job. I just work part-time. It's like 22 hours a week. That's why I'm actually dressed up like this. I got work later today. So I figured I'd just get dressed early. But you said, okay, so 7 a.m. here in California. Yeah, because you're 3 hours behind, so yeah. Because if market open for you is 6:30, and then the 10 a.m. open would be then 7 for you. You said, do you ever trade Asia session? Not really, to be honest. I'm not the biggest fan of Asia. And I just feel like my strategy, like I trade inverse fair value gaps, and I feel like they rely on like liquidity and like volume and like a strong trend. And I feel like those things sometimes aren't present during Asia. You said the recent 5-minute FVG is going to inverse. What are you talking about? Like the recent? Are you talking about like this 5-minute gap right here? I mean, me personally, I don't like how close this trade would be to news. Because like, let's say you get your entry at 9:55, you have red folder news in 5 minutes, and this thing could just go a little crazy. In my opinion, it's a little too much of a gamble for me, but I mean, if it fits your model though. You said also was in your TikTok live and checking out you now on YouTube, really enjoying your content, dude. I appreciate that, Barnacle. Oh, and also, guys in the YouTube, if you don't mind, hit that thumbs up button. It does help me out in the stream. You said, are you looking for shorts or longs? So, overall, I'm looking for longs. But I definitely want to see how we start reacting after the 10 a.m. news comes out. Because, like, theoretically, let's say if 10 a.m. news comes out, we, like, spike up, take out previous week's high, and then start rejecting down really significantly. I might be, like, a little bearish at that point. But until we hit previous week's high, I'm honestly pretty bullish. You said, do you have a course, bro? Not really, to be honest. I mostly just live trade for free on YouTube, and I kind of release free videos as I go. I mean, if you have any ideas for videos for me to make, though, like, you can definitely let me know, and I'll try to work on it. You said already took out highs, so be shorts would be strong. I mean, I see where you're coming from, but it's also just a little counter trend. I feel like higher time frame were bullish. But I mean, I'm not always right, though. He said he goes live at nights, too, so you can ask him questions then also. Yeah, my night lives, though, I'm usually only live on TikTok at night. My TikTok lives, though, I'd be getting, like, a bunch of people showing up to there. Dude, what type of setup is Dodgy taking? You said, yeah, I need to change my name there to... Oh, yeah, I remember you. He said, is Dodgy live? Dodgy's probably live inside his paid Discord. I just know he took a trade because I follow him on Instagram and I'm nosy, and I always look at what trades he took because he always posts his trades on his Instagram story. So like, bro, this dude is, first of all, this dude's out at 5 o'clock in the morning at some like festival, and then now this is 7 minutes ago. Not my bad. Hello, Instagram. Yeah, so this is he just took some long. I know it's mad hard to see, but yeah, there's his Discord he's in. Well, yeah, he was talking about this low resistance liquidity, I guess is why he took it. But me personally, I don't like taking inversion setups where the gap is that far to the left. Like, I think, is this the one he took? It looks like that. Yeah, probably. I'm not the biggest fan of that setup, to be honest. You said TGR took longs 11 minutes for market open? I wonder what he even... Did he take a long off of this inverse or something? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I love being nosy and seeing the other people what they take trades on. Like honestly, I could literally name like every single other person that live trades Monday through Friday, like for free, just off the top of my head. And sometimes I even see setups and I'm like, I bet Dodgy took that, or I bet PB Blake took that. I bet Patrick from PB Trading took that. You said I'm watching TGR as well. Dude's entertaining. Yeah, TGR be going crazy. You said you should definitely do a video about SNT. Honestly, so I do have a video on SNT. I mean, if you're still confused, I mean, like, I can definitely like try to make a better one. But where is it? How long ago did I upload it? Yeah, I have like a video from like 2 months ago that says like how I use. You can't read that, but it says like how I use SNT divergences in my trading. Full breakdown. You said he's starting to ban people in his chat. I wonder what can people be saying that TGR is banning them. You said thoughts on ICT. I mean, I'm pretty much an ICT trader, so I mean, like, I'm not gonna lie. I won't say that ICT is the best guy to learn from because I think when you watch his videos, he just sits there and yaps and like he talks forever without substance. If that makes sense. But I like his concepts. Like, I like ICT simplified concept videos. If that makes sense. Like. So like instead of watching his 35 hours of yap, you can watch like someone summarize it. Vizid said, "What's up? What's up, Vizid? How are you, bro?" Oh, you said, Tim, did you ever look up that video from PB Trading where I told you that they call out Warrior Trading? I didn't, but I still gotta do that. I know you told me it was like their first video in the boot camp. I'll try to remember after stream today. You said news in 2 minutes? Yeah. He said, if you're lonely and need company, just watch ICT, put on audio, and listen to it like a podcast. Honestly, one thing I used to struggle with was I used to try to watch those longer form ICT videos, and I literally used to fall asleep consistently. Like, and like you'd say, oh, it's so boring. It's like, no, like I actually wanted to learn this though. Like I was interested, and it was still so boring that I'd fall asleep. But ooh, so. Oh, my trading view glitched again. I'm just going to restart my trading view real quick. That should be better. So we have like 30 seconds until news. You said bias is long, right? For sure. Yeah, I have a long bias, correct. You said NQ finna have a solid 15-minute gap. Yeah, honestly, at 10 a.m., I want a manipulation into this 15-minute gap. And then I want to see rejection out of it. But I definitely want to see how this news candle prints. I would honestly prefer if we could leave a data high above. So like, let's say if we wick up and then come right back down to the 15-minute gap. But so here's news. That did absolutely nothing. Said news was dry? Yeah, dude. But there was what? There was 2 separate news events that were released, and it's like you did nothing? Okay, well, now it's doing something a little bit. He said, oh, never. Yeah, we had the same thought. We were like, oh, wait, never mind. So we've now tapped into this 15-minute gap, right? We've manipulated lower at 10 a.m., right? So what's a data high and data low? I want to see how quickly this starts playing out. If I mentally have time to explain it, I will. But there's a chance I might get a setup really soon. No, I think I have time to explain unless we start shooting up. What type of stop loss is this? I'm just getting ready in case we like spike up out of nowhere. I'm probably going to take a long. I'd prefer if this 1 minute gets open though, honestly. You said 900 level cooking. You said full port them evals. You know, actually, I know, like, you're probably joking, but I'm actually not joking. That eval I was trading last week, I still need to full port that for the rebill. So I'm not going to blindly full port it, but next trade I take, I'm probably going to take it on my fundeds, and I'm also going to full port an eval on my phone, probably. So I don't like the stop loss. It's a little big, but if we get a close through this gap, I might want to try this. I also want to mark out, so equilibrium of this range as a whole, right? So it's possible we might want to come a little lower, but at the same time, like if we mark out equilibrium of this 15-minute gap over here, we're kind of reacting off equilibrium of this 15-minute gap. But oh, I guess I'll explain what a data low and data high is. I have time. So essentially, like when any high impact news comes out, right? So if it's 10 a.m. news, 8:30 news, whatever, as long as it's red folder. So on that 1 minute candle, if we leave behind a wick, like which we typically do, it's like a data low and a data high. So we took out the data low almost immediately. It was the wick on that 1 minute 10 a.m. candle because there was a news release that came out. But we haven't taken out this data high. And the way I view data lows and data highs, I think they're a very strong draw on liquidity. I feel like when you go back and backtest it, like, we don't leave them behind very frequently. You said we have gotten the retest, hoping to see a rejection, then buying out of the FVG for longs. That's pretty much exactly what I'm looking for. I wonder, can I get a 1-to-1 at previous week's high? Where is previous week's high? So we're starting to get a reaction up. So I gotta pay attention to what is the highest time frame fair value gap right here. So there's a 2 minute, and we might open up a 3 minute. You said, are you in something? Not yet. I'm waiting for a confirmation close higher. Okay, if this 3 minute hasn't formed yet, so if we close through this 2 minute gap, I'm going to try this, honestly. But we'd have to close through this 2 minute gap, though, for me to try this. Said even made an inverse in the 1 minute. I prefer the highest time frame gap, but... And we're probably going to open up a 3 minute now, which kind of sucks. So if this thing magically shoots up last second and closes through this 2-minute gap, if we close this thing last second, I'm gonna try this. Now we didn't though. So right now we've opened up a 3-minute gap, which is now the highest time frame. I gotta check. There's no 4-minute. As of right now, there's no 4-minute. As of right now, there's no 5-minute. So if we close through this 3-minute gap, I'll take a long still. Honestly, for my break-even point, I'm probably going to wait to go break-even until we take out these highs, to be honest. I feel like normally, some days, I would go break-even at a data high, but... You said, do you usually have NQ and ES open while trading? Yeah, I always have NQ and ES open, because I always look for, like, SNT divergences between them. And I feel like it kind of helps me, like, determine my bias. So I hope that NQ doesn't start running. I want it to, like, chill out for 2 minutes. Because I want to get a good close. And I'm afraid it's going to start running to the sky right now. Don't do it, Nasdaq. Chill out. I might not get an entry on this. So I gotta wait 1 minute and 45 seconds for my potential entry. So 1 minute and 30 seconds until this candle closes. I would highly prefer if we do not take out data highs before I get my entry. Like, honestly, if it happens and we get a good close, I think I'll still take it. I would prefer, though, if it stays exactly where it is right now for the next 1 minute. So 50 seconds. I gotta wait. I'm low-key sweating, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, I forgot. I gotta full port this eval, too. Fun, fun, fun. Said ES has a bearish inverse in the 3 minute. I mean, yeah, I feel like we're just bullish higher time frame. You said, are we in longs? Only if we close through this 3 minute, which the weird thing is we're pulling back. So if we close through this 3 minute in the next 10 seconds, I'm taking this. That's not a close through, so I can't take that. So, I mean, we didn't close through. I feel like this is either going to save me or mess me up. Because it's possible we could just start running higher. But it's also possible this could have saved me from taking a bad trade. And I got to double check. There's still no 4 minute gap. And there's no 5 minute gap. The 3 minute is still the highest time frame here. So I guess same story as before. I gotta wait like 2.5 minutes. And if this candle closes to the gap, I'm gonna try longs. I don't know why I'm so sweaty today. Ugh. I'm not used to the stress. I haven't traded my funded accounts in weeks. You said NQ is really playing on my nerves? Me too, honestly. I'm getting stressed out here right now, honestly. Like, I know I shouldn't, but like... I don't know why. I have this weird feeling this thing out of nowhere is probably going to spike up and ruin my entry. I just want it to chill out for 1.5 minutes. Just stay right where you are. I feel like NQ is definitely the stronger pair. You said, do you copy trades? Yeah, when I take this, it's going to be copy traded across 5 Top Step Express funded accounts that are 50Ks. Said, man, price just 20 points up and down. Yeah, I have a feeling. Oh, yeah. So there's a minute. I got to wait one more minute. I have a feeling this thing's going to break out any second now, if I had to guess. I just need it to wait 50 seconds so I can get my entry. Although the thing is, though, if this thing last second, if it comes right back down and we don't close the 3-minute gap, I am not taking this. Like, I want it to close, like, right where it is right now. So I will be entering 5 micros if we get this close. Come on. Stay where you are, Nasdaq. 20 seconds. You said, how do you full port and eval? Enter max contracts? I don't recommend it, though. Okay. So 10 seconds. If this candle closes through a 3-minute gap, I will be entering longs. 110%. Okay, I'm in there. Let me just make sure I position size correctly. Close enough, whatever. So I'm just going for a 1-to-1 risk to reward. I'll show my executions. So that's my execution. So I'm going to go break even when we take out this internal high up here. That's the break even point. So hopefully once we take out this high, we can kind of just flush up. I think you guys can see my executions, right? Yeah, cool. So we did take out the data high on NQ. Honestly, I'm still not willing to go break even just yet. Like, ES still has yet to take out the data high. And I feel like in the current price leg, I feel like we should hit this high before I want to go break even. But we'll see. He said, did you explain what data highs and data lows are after I asked? My dog went crazy for a minute. I wasn't at my screen. You're good, bro. So it's essentially like on the 1-minute chart, right? If when high impact news comes out, like red folder news, that 1-minute candle, like on the 1-minute chart, if we typically leave behind wicks on either side. So it's pretty much just targeting like the wick on either side. So I feel like they can be very strong draws on liquidity. Like they like to get hit. So I'm not going to lie, I'm not the happiest that we're rejecting off data highs right now. But because the data highs, I can yeah, I mean it's just the news candle on the 1-minute chart, the high and the low. Like cuz you can see at 10 a.m., right? Like we left this wick up here. So this right here is a data high. And I'm not going to lie, honestly, when I calculated my position size, I literally was trying to risk $400. And I guess, I don't know what oh, I'm stupid. I forgot to adjust. That's why it made me risk 500. It's whatever. I meant to put I wanted to risk 400. I changed it yesterday and I thought it would stay the same, if that makes sense. But it's only $100. I'm not going to sweat it. So, I mean, hopefully this 3-minute gap holds. Because when we're trading inside a 3-minute gap, but at the same time, we're kind of dumping. Not the reaction I really wanted to see, but it's not like I'm going to close early. I mean, pretty much like my plan, I either get stopped at break even, I either get stopped out, I either hit take profit, and there's no like in between. There's no closing early for me. That is not the best reaction. I feel like ES is moving so much more bearish. Well, more bearish probably isn't a word. Is it maybe? I don't know. You said ES is tanking? Yeah, that's the thing. Honestly, I feel like this setup would be playing out better if ES wasn't tanking so hard. He said just shorted ES? I hope it works out for you, bro. So this right here is like the last area I could see price reacting off of. Honestly, it's not looking too good right now, but this is like the last possible area I could see price react off of. Yeah, honestly, unless this candle just starts flying up right now, it's not looking too good for me. So what's up with the colors? Honestly, I don't know. I feel like Top Step changed the colors of the background, and it looks a little weird. Because, like, I use, like, alpha futures as well, and I feel like the background colors don't look like that. And I don't remember changing it, unless I'm going crazy. Oh, you said I thought your candlesticks weren't red and green? So on TradingView, I have like black and white candlesticks, but when I use Project X, which is like the platform I use to trade, because I'm just like showing you guys my executions here. Like this is my trading platform. Come on, be nice to me, Nasdaq. So one thing I don't like, honestly, like I'm not getting too excited just yet, because I know like you can see MNQ over here, but if you look at NQ, like these two lows down here are actually equal lows. And I always talk about how equal lows and equal highs are a strong draw. So like, it's not ideal to have equal lows right next to my stop loss. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. You said, why not trade on TradingView? Well, at least at Top Step, you can't trade on TradingView. And I'm not going to lie, I kind of like the platform a little bit, Project X. He said just took an L on gold. Sorry to hear that. So hopefully, maybe ES found a little bit of a bottom, so ES can stop dragging us down. So I feel like ES is just dragging us down. Like this trade, NQ itself is bullish. It just ES wanted to have that little dump right there. So I'm hoping. So we opened up this 3-minute bearish gap. I really don't want to see it hold. I want to see us close through that 3-minute. And honestly, if we can close through this 3-minute again, I'll low-key regain confidence in this trade. Because right now, it's not looking the best. But honestly, if we can close through this 3-minute, that's something that's very ideal. So it's like a minute and a half till this 3-minute candle closes. I'd prefer if it doesn't pull down like it's doing right now. You said so you're risking $500 with all accounts or five? No, it's 500 each. I actually, I'm not gonna lie, I literally was trying to risk 400 each, but I low key miscalculated my position size a little bit. It was 100% my mistake though, but I meant to do 400 today. So we have 40 seconds until this candle closes. I really want to see this candle close through this 3-minute. Said, how was yesterday for you? Pretty mid. I really couldn't find any trades. There was one trade I really debated on taking, and last minute I was like, nah, I don't want to take this. And it ended up working out, but it really wasn't the cleanest. It was at midday. I mean, I didn't lose any money, which is always a good thing. So I feel like this is like an acceptable close on the 3-minute. Like it's a bullish close, but we didn't necessarily close through the gap. I would have preferred if we inverted that 3-minute gap, but what are you gonna do? Oh, there's actually a 4-minute gap we just closed through though. Nice. That's kind of cool. You said, what's the reason you have wired earbuds over wireless? That's a good question, actually. So honestly, I'm like, to a point, I'm like a little bit of a health freak. So I feel like I have I do have AirPods. I wear them a lot, but I feel like on stream is a time where I feel like I don't necessarily need the freedom to be able to like move around without a wire attached to me, if that makes sense. And sometimes I get anxious and I'm like, I have AirPods in all day long. Like, what if I randomly one day get brain cancer? I don't know, I'm just a health freak. Where are my AirPods? I'm gonna grab them real quick. You know, sometimes people make fun of me for this, but I actually have my AirPods engraved to say Tim B272. Said it would be the same thing? Can you not pull back, Nasdaq? You said, Tim, when you enter 5 micros, it goes, nah, it's 5 to every, at least the way Top Step does it is whichever position you take on the leader, it copies the exact position all the followers. So like, it's 5 micros on each account. Oh, this is not what I wanted to see. At least we invert the 4-minute. Said fair. I don't like Bluetooth either. Yeah, I feel like to a point, like it can't be that unhealthy, but at the same time, there's not too much studies showing like the long-term effects. You know what I mean? Damn. You know, I was getting hopeful for a second there. There's a speaker next to your ear, but I mean, at least there's not Bluetooth. You said, yeah, I had a good day. I gotta put a new exhaust on my car. Hope today is good to y'all and no one trades emotional. Yeah, I hope you have a good day as well too. Yeah. He said, so if this hits, I mean, if this trade hits take profit, I make 500 on 5 accounts. Yeah, but like they're funded accounts, so it's not like I would draw 2,500. It's like I'm up in my funded accounts. If that makes sense. You said, do you take any supplements? I saw the day in a life YouTube video you had some whey protein at least. Yeah, honestly, I've low-key been slacking on my supplements. I used to, when I was in my like full routine, I used to take a liquid multivitamin every day. I used to take a liquid omega-3. I used to take creatine every day. I used to take electrolytes every day. That was pretty much it though. You said, did you ever fractional share trade? I mean, in the past, I've bought fractional shares. I mean, it's not something I do on a regular basis or my first choice, but you said ES created literally another equal low. Oh, you said you mean NQ? Well, both of them actually, because here I'll pull up TradingView for 5 seconds because I prefer to show things on there. So like, if we look at ES, my face is in the way. Yeah, so ES literally made triple equal lows down here, right? NQ made equal lows down here, like, but I like how I feel like when I look away from the chart, things always get interesting. Well, like, I don't know if you guys remember before, like, remember when it came really close to my stop and I was saying, like, even though it doesn't look good right now, I either get stopped out, I get stopped at break even, or it hits my take profit. Like, there's no other options here, right? Like, you said made $11 on live. I was scared. I mean, a win's a win. Congratulations, Prin. He said S&T at the 10 a.m. low. Like the 10:02, yeah. I mean, definitely, yeah. There's a lot of SMTs here. Come on, hit my break even. I'm over risked. He said, I don't like this one, Chief, but good luck. I mean, thanks. I'm pretty close to my break even regardless. He said, my boy Tim, how's it going, buddy? Pretty good. How about you, Jerry? So I'm getting ready to potentially go break even, because once NQ takes out this high, I definitely want to go break even. You said, how do you buy funded accounts? How do funded accounts work? Once you buy them, you take the profits you made. So, I mean, essentially, like, when you buy a funded account, they give you, like, the evaluation account, which is almost like the test phase. So, like, they pretty much ask you to make, it's like typically on a 50K account, they'll ask you to make, like, 3K before you lose 2K. And if you meet their requirements, then you get moved to a funded account. But you still got to meet more requirements to get paid. You said I'm up my Lucid and Tradeify. Might have to call it a day. Don't want to get too greedy. I agree with that. I mean, if you got some good profits in the day, definitely try to keep them. Yo, did you hear? I think it was Top Step started sending emails where they're like putting people on certain programs where they're like, oh, you can only have one Express funded account at a time. And I think Apex is doing the same thing. I think they sent out a bunch of emails like, I think it was last night or the night before, something like that. You said lots of bull 1 minute FVGs. I mean, yeah. We're low-key kind of chopping a little bit right now. You said, are you going to wait for the candle closure to take BE? Now, the second we take out this high up here, I'm going to go break even. I'm not going to wait for a candle closure or anything. You said, yeah, because people don't want to go live and they're milking payouts because it's 5x. Yeah, I mean, I know people too. I feel like people blow, like they'll get 4 payouts, blow the account, get 4 payouts, blow the account. And they're like, oh, why is Top Step banning me? It's like, what, you violated their rules. You said not sure why Apex is stopping people. I know a long time ago, they used to have a big issue with like people copy trading, if you know what I mean. But they probably still do, but... So, I'm not break even just yet. I like how finally ES is starting to move bullish, finally. Like, ES was... Okay, I'm break even. So hopefully, I'm hoping that once we break these highs, we just kind of continue up. I know previous week high is at like... Previous week high is somewhere up here. We're probably going to draw toward previous week high. You said I did it with Lucid. 1 so far, 3 funded accounts. I get them to 5 and blow them and start over. Not bad. I do think it's funny though. I feel like when the prop firms move you to live, they're like, "Oh, congratulations! This is such a great accomplishment." But it's like, bro, you're like limiting me. I can't make as much money now. You said, what do you mean you can't make as much money? Well, the thing is, like, when you're trading, like, let's say a Top Step, right? Let's say I have 5 50K Express funded accounts, right? Let's just think in terms of contract size, right? Like, I can trade 5 contracts per account, so I can enter a trade for a total of 25 contracts. But when they move you to a live account, they're probably going to say, okay, we're giving you a cap of like 10 contracts at once, or like 5 contracts at once. So it's like, one, now you can't enter as many contracts as once. And also, like, it's kind of hard to explain, but like you think like you put in X amount of money and you're getting such a big payout. If you keep cycling the sim environment, it's just profitable over the longer scale compared to staying on one account that's live. So that's why you're supposed to fund your own accounts? I mean, yeah, exactly. You said, why not target previous week high instead of a 1-to-1? Because honestly, I don't like taking negative risk to reward trades. Like this trade kind of offered me a wide stop loss. And I don't want to close before a 1-to-1. It's just kind of how I do my rules, honestly. So, yeah, we're probably... Oh, yeah, we just took out previous week's high. So now I'm pretty much just hoping that we go up like another 15 points. You said we just took previous week high. Yeah, we did. I really want to get my 1-to-1 though, and I feel like we're moving in bullish order flow, higher time frame. So I mean, like, we might hit previous week high and pull back a little bit, but I just want my 1-to-1 to be honest. And on top of that too, I'm getting really close to a payout. And if this trade hits, I do get a 3K payout from Top Step. Like, you shouldn't really say like, oh, I want to go for more because I need a payout, but it aligns with my 1-to-1. Oh, come on, NQ. Give me like 15 points higher. You said I'm out. Honestly, not a bad idea. Like, we took out previous week's high. I understand why you'd get out. You said you had a 1-to-1? You probably had a tighter stop, I guess, or something. But you said, I tried risking a ban to pass my eval, but I used futures and it only risks 500. I mean, just make sure you filled out all the boxes correctly. Like, you got to put in, you're trading a 50K account, you're risking like 2% of your account. Put in your stop loss size. You said, all right, highly appreciate all the answers you're giving. I'm trying to understand your strategy better in action. Definitely helping getting a live analysis. I'm glad to hear it helps. You said also got out at a 1-to-1 since I entered the retest of the 3-minute. Yeah, not a bad idea, honestly. So I pretty much got to hope that we go up 20 points right now. Bro asked permission to copy my trade. I mean, I'm not gonna necessarily endorse you copying my trade. I mean, there's no way I can stop you. I mean, I wouldn't say enter this trade because this one it's long gone. I mean, my stops are at break even. I'm deep in profit. I mean, this one's long gone. But oh no, what is that? And why did I take a red day? That should have been. Oh no, what? Did you guys see my P&L went from $1 to, it went from red to green? Did you guys see that? But dude, what is that candle? Whatever. Was there news that got released or something? You said, bro, I was short and that shit just blew. Now I need to lose money. I'm $500 over the consistency. I want to know what that was. Interesting. I mean, at least, yeah, all the accounts are up $6. Oh wow, so we got a $30 day, guys. You said I feel like is a little bit delayed. It might be slightly delayed, honestly. I wouldn't doubt it. You said lunch is on you. You said, bro, you only trade New York? You trade randomly off YouTube stream? Nah, I only trade New York session. You said if it's not the news, it's some inside stuff happened on Friday before. Yeah, honestly, because that is not a normal candle. And it's like now we're just coming right back up afterwards too. You said traders would call it a liquidity grab. I mean, yeah, I guess like I'm kind of an ICT guy, so honestly, that's the word I used in my head when I looked at this. But you said you only trade NQ. Yeah, I only trade NQ. I look at both NQ and ES because I use like SMT divergences. Like I'll look at like if maybe one took out a session high or low and the other one didn't. But honestly, I don't think I'd want to try any longs out of this, to be completely honest. You said, so you're an ICT trader? I mean, I'm essentially an ICT trader. I basically trade inverse fair value gaps, but I have an emphasis on like 5 to 15 minute fair value gaps. You said that moved retraced the whole 10 a.m. moved. That bounce was insane. Yeah, it literally undid this whole 10 a.m. move and then just went right back up. I'm really curious to see if it's going to like continue up or if it's going to continue back down from here. You said 80 down, 60 up. Yeah. You said I got out before the Drake candle got me. I'm glad to hear that. You said you're your new subscriber, so you're questioning. You're good. Ask me as many questions as you want. Crypto Strategy says, what's up, Tim? Nothing much. How's it going for you, Crypto Strategies? You said like the stream. Appreciate that, Jerry. I try to set the tone with like some nice music in the background too. You said, how's the roller coaster, bro? It's going pretty good. I actually almost hit take profit on a trade before, and then this candle came and ruined my day. Not necessarily, but you said you take anything, it's all ping pong. I mean, I wouldn't say I take anything. I'm kind of selective with the trades I take, but you said bigger dump the 3 red files. You said need a green screen for an effect when you're in a trade. I don't know what the green screen. You said took 3 trades today, up 549, locked my account, so I won't give it back. I'm glad to hear it, honestly. I love when people lock their accounts and like exercise discipline. I always love hearing it. You said no, I was asking if you took any trades. You're saying you take every? No, I mean I only took 1 trade so far today. I tried taking this 3-minute inverse right around here. I had a pretty wide stop loss, I won't lie. And I was just going for like a 1-to-1. And then I went break even when we took this like internal high up here. So it came pretty close to my stop, and then it hit my break even, stopped me at break even. And I guess it would have stopped me out like almost perfectly if I didn't go break even. Oh, I guess my logic behind that though, so why I took that 3-minute, so we tapped back into this like higher time frame 15-minute gap. So it's like, so higher time frame, we're moving in bullish order flow, we're delivering from a bullish 15-minute gap. We've now inverted this bearish 3-minute gap, and it's like the highest time frame gap in this leg. There's also these data highs above, which NQ and ES both had. So like I always view data highs and data lows as strong draws. And I also like the break even point up here, but you said gotta tighten up that RR. I mean, yeah, but like in this case though, even if I had a tighter RR, like if let's say I put my stop loss down here, in this case I would have gotten stopped out. So I'm like, I guess I maybe could have put my stop here, but that's kind of being a perfectionist, I feel like. And I still wouldn't hit 1-to-1. The main thing is I feel like we were too close to previous week's high. That was the main thing that was going against me. Like I like to get a 1-to-1 when we hit the draw. But this time, we hit the draw, and I was going for a 1-1 past it. He said, yeah, it's ping pong between these two FVGs. I mean, yeah, it's like we took out previous week's high, and now we're kind of consolidating. You said you still in the trade, right? Nah, I got stopped at break even a while ago. You said, well, you were right. Those data lows definitely were a strong draw that time. Just an unfortunate timing, I guess. I mean, yeah, I was targeting the data highs, but I guess probably ES took out the data lows, I guess. I mean, ES took the data. They both took out the data lows almost instantly. You said it was still a good trade. I don't trade Nasdaq, but I watch it. Nothing wrong with that. He said, what stopped you from taking less than 1-to-1? You were up 300 times 5 before. I mean, yeah, I was. But it's kind of the way like I've tested my strategy. Like I have confidence in my strategy over time. Like I've back tested it over a set period of time. And like when I have done my testing, I pretty much never sell below a 1-to-1. Like I either close at 1-to-1 or something over a 1-to-1. But I don't feel comfortable taking trades like under a 1-to-1 because me personally, it logically like doesn't make sense to me that like if I were to risk 500, like why would I close for 300? Because then like over time I'd have to have like a very high win rate to have that make sense. And I mean right now, not like it matters. I mean I'm not going to sit here and get tilted, but it's probably going to run to my take profit now. Which I mean is totally fine, just the name of the game. And I hate how like in this range right here, we haven't even really opened up any 5 or 15-minute gap. So I really couldn't even take any continuation longs, really. You said don't FOMO, you just get trapped into a manipulation. It's going to test them highs now. I mean, yeah, honestly, I can't really see myself, like taking out a trade, to be honest. I mean, I'll still wait. Honestly, I'll probably wait until 11 to see if anything clear comes up. But if we can't get anything by 11, I'm probably just gonna walk away. You said I can see the strength in your logic, but I view it as I would take 1500 instead of 30. I mean, over the long scale though, it won't more like work over the long scale because I always view like what's going to work over a longer period of time, and it's not sustainable for me to keep taking negative risk reward trades. Because then, like, if I keep taking losses, my wins aren't going to overpower my losses anymore. I wonder what I think I was targeting 950. Not like it even matters, but I think my take profit was like 915 or something like that. You said we took the same trade. Sorry, I couldn't join the stream. I'm on a call for a live broker account. You're like on an actual call for a live broker account. What broker is making you call them on the phone? But that's pretty cool. We took the exact same trade though. I mean, yeah, everyone's different. I'm a little bit more of a mechanical, honestly. Like I feel like I use some discretion, but I feel like I have a mechanical framework. Said Fort Trade. I just had to open a live account still on the call. Interesting. I've never even heard of them, honestly. I've never heard of them because you can't You said we had the same TP too. I guess what you were going for a 1-to-1. I guess off that 3 minute inverse probably. Well, I mean, I got stopped at break even, but you said what's your experience with Apex? I mean, I honestly don't have much personal experience with Apex, but I'm honestly not the biggest fan of Apex. I just feel like I've just heard to like I mean, I don't think they're necessarily a bad company, but I feel like I've just heard too many stories of people being like, "Oh, like Apex asked me for recordings of me while I was trading, or Apex asked me for this, or like Apex denied this," and I'm like, I don't know. I just don't feel like taking that risk. Like, because I always say, like, imagine trading a funded account for like weeks on end, like getting to the point of you hitting a request payout, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna get this payout, and then you get an email saying payout denied. It's like, that's horrible. You said, yeah, just 1-to-1. What? Oh, I guess you're saying my TP was like 913. I thought it was 9. Oh, no, yeah, no, I guess you're right. Yeah, it was 913.75 was my TP. I mean, honestly, at this point, like we're moving in bullish order flow, but honestly, I think I'm just gonna call it right now because like I was thinking about it and like, so am I really willing to take continuation longs after we've just taken out previous week's high? Like, honestly, not really. Like, cause like, yeah, we're moving bullish, right? But like, I'm not willing to take a continuation after taking out previous week's high. And the thing is, after we took out previous week's high, we already got a significant retracement. So like I feel like longs and shorts aren't looking ideal for me if that makes sense. So honestly, I'm probably just gonna do my like recap of the whole day right now because I honestly can't see myself taking any more trades. You said, yeah, that's what I'm scared of. Honestly, I always recommend Alpha Futures. I mean, I'm sure you've probably heard me say it a million times, but their zero plan for the 50K, like after discount, is like $90. So if you use discount code TIMB272, it'll always get you 10% off, or if there's some better current discount. But honestly, I really love the people running Alpha Futures. Like, they also run a regulated broker in the UK called ACG Markets. They have Alpha Prime, which is like an actual trading floor in London. They move their best traders to. So like, I know some of these prop firms are having problems. Like, what do we do with our best traders? Like, they keep cycling live accounts, they keep doing this. But at Alpha, like, they can just move you to an actual trading floor. But so for my breakdown though, right? So coming into market open, right? So 9:30 was like right around here, right? So at 9:30 open, I did come into the session and say I had a bullish bias. Now, if we start all the way on the daily, right? So I've been talking about this for days now, where we inverted this daily fair value gap. And on a typical day, I would say because we inverted this daily, that would mean these lows down here would be the draw. But like you guys can see, if you look back at the recording of like Monday, I literally said, even though we inverted that gap, you said you have a 2-minute delay? I feel like it can't be an actual 2-minute delay. You said, whoops, never mind. Okay. No, you're good. Scared me for a second, though. You're good, though. It shouldn't be worse than like 10 seconds in my... I don't know the exact number. But, okay, so on the daily, right? So even though we inverted this daily fair value gap, the news came out about Venezuela, and that's very bullish, right? Like, so fundamental analysis wise, when something ridiculously bullish comes out, we could disrespect this fair value gap and it means absolutely nothing. And I kept saying that, right? So like I was right. And then with this 4-hour gap, right? So we inverted this 4-hour gap, which means we're definitely shifting structure to bullish, right? Like we're breaking above this high. We have a 4-hour change in the state. We're inverting this 4-hour gap. Now, the only thing that kind of tripped me up a little bit at market open was, so we inverted this 4-hour gap right here. So I feel like typically I would say, okay, we inverted the 4-hour. I'm temporarily going to be bearish. But the thing was, we also tapped into this 1-hour gap down here. So we were respecting this 1 hour and we were getting a clear like rejection out of it. And even like on the 15-minute as well, like once we got to market open, like we built up all this low resistance liquidity. So we had like all of these stacked highs, right? We're higher time frame bullish. So I feel like with all these things combined, like I was definitely bullish coming into this session, right? So I couldn't really get an entry like early in the session, right? Because on the 5-minute, we really didn't pull back into any 5 or 15-minute fair value gaps until 10 a.m. hit. Because I was looking for a continuation long, but that pretty much relies on us pulling back into a 5 or a 15-minute fair value gap, right? So once 10 a.m. happened, right, we opened up this 15-minute fair value gap right here. So one, I wanted to see that 15-minute get traded into for me to take longs, because like I like to base all my continuations off 5 and 15-minute gaps, as well as I was talking about the significance of 10 a.m. Like I'm sure you guys just heard it before, but I'll quickly recap, right? So at 10 a.m., like 10 a.m. is very significant for 2 reasons. At 10 a.m., we're opening up a new 4-hour candle, and we're also opening up a new 1-hour candle. So typically all these higher time frame candles, they like to have wicks on both sides, right? So if we think in terms of like accumulation, manipulation, distribution, right? When 10 a.m. opens, right, it's very possible we have a manipulation in the opposite direction to sweep out liquidity, put in that wick on the higher time frame, and then we actually move in the intended direction. And it's the same story in the 1 hour, right? Like at 10 a.m., we're also opening up a new 1-hour candle, right? So what did this 10 a.m. candle do? On the 1 hour and the 4 hour, it wicks down, going in the opposite direction, putting in that wick. And since I'm higher time frame bullish, I was already expecting this to be a manipulation, right? So, right, we've rebalanced this 15-minute gap. So for me to take a rejection out of it, I'm pretty much looking for what is the highest time frame gap in the most current price leg. So in this case, it was this 3-minute gap right here, right? So once we closed through this 3-minute gap, I pretty much took a market order. I put my stop loss down at the swing low. I was going for a 1-to-1 risk to reward. So I went break even when we took out this internal high up here. So that was the break even point. And I was going to go break even if either NQ or ES took it out. It's just that NQ was like the leading instrument, which just means NQ is stronger today. Because once I actually took this trade, you can kind of see ES like dumped. And like ES was part of the reason this trade got held back, right? Like, because you can see I took this entry, we had this immediate pullback. Like the reason for that is because if you look at the exact same time, like what did ES do? Like ES is dumping, right? So ES kind of dragged this trade down, but I'd say I still played it pretty well. I played it pretty well. I'd say I had good stop loss placement, right? Like it came pretty close to my stop, but it never stopped me out. I'd say I waited for good confirmation. I'd say I also had a good break even point. The only thing that did kind of trip me up is part of the logic I used to base this long was I also look at data lows and data highs like a lot. So this right here is a data high. It's essentially just a wick left behind by a 1 minute candle that has high impact news coming out. It's like red folder news. So this was a data high. I also like that when I took my entry, the data high was kind of still there. Honestly, for a second, I'm not going to lie, I did debate on making that data high my break-even point, but I thought about it and I was like, normally, the way I like to make my break-even point, it's the internal high or the internal low connected to the most recent price leg. So in this case, like the internal high or the internal low connected to the most recent price leg is this up here. And also, I feel like we were just moving very bullish, higher time frame. And also, ES actually still has not taken out this data high yet. So like the data high was still intact on ES. So that also kind of contributes to my bias. But yeah, I guess I hope that makes sense. So essentially like higher time frame on bullish, we had that manipulation at 10 a.m. We're respecting a higher time frame 15-minute gap. We disrespected the lowest the highest time frame fair value gap like in this most recent price leg delivering us, right? So I put so long. I was just going for a 1-to-1. And I know some people asked, like, why don't you sell at previous week's high? It's pretty much just how my trading plan works. Like, I refuse to take trades unless we hit a 1-to-1 risk to reward. Because I just view over time, like, if I keep selling at negative risk to reward, eventually I'll go on a losing streak. And my wins are going to be so small that it's going to be very hard for them to outweigh my winners. Just at least the way I trade. Like, everyone's stuff is different, but... And, like, even though this thing did come down and stop raid me, well, I got stopped to break even. And if I didn't move stops to break even, it would have stop rated me. But regardless, I still had the draw, right? Like I'm still trading in the right direction. I still had the right idea. I played things correctly. So I mean, even though I only made like what $6 in my funded account today, I'd still say I executed everything today correctly. Because like I always view like a winning day for me is not necessarily like finishing the day with profit. For me, a winning day is like when I can analyze everything that happened throughout the day and I'm like, you know what? I played everything perfectly. Like there's not too much like based on the analysis I just did, I wouldn't play anything differently if everything happened again. Like I would not, even though I know it would have stopped me at break even, I still would not have closed this position early. Like I still would have waited for 1-to-1, but that's pretty much my whole spiel, my whole rant. So if you guys have any questions, definitely drop them down below. I'll stay on for a couple minutes answering questions. I hope that made sense to you guys. But I guess one last time, I'll show you guys the P&L, right? So I'm up $6 across my 5 50K accounts. So I mean, technically, I guess you could say this is my first winning day of the year, but this is no winning day. This is $6. It's just a green calendar slot to me. But we keep the high win rate for now. Yeah, I guess no one probably has any questions, but so if you guys are looking for a prop firm to trade with, my favorite prop firm is Alpha Futures. If you use my discount code, which is code TIMB272, it will get you 10% off. Or if they have some better discount going on, it'll get you that. So I highly recommend checking out Alpha Futures. I also trade with them. I'm just kind of trying to get a payout on these top steps, but I'm also funded 3 accounts at Alpha. And lastly, if you guys aren't in that free Discord already, join that free Discord. It's in the pinned comment or my profile. If you guys have any further questions, you're welcome to join the Discord. You can tag me anytime. I can't promise I'll get back to you in a timely fashion, but I do my best to respond to people, like all the people in the Discord. You said, thanks, Tim. Enjoy the rest of your day. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day as well, Prin. But I do appreciate every single one of you guys to stop by today, ask questions, watch me trade. I appreciate all of you. I'll be live again at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for Thursday and Friday. But I hope all you guys have an amazing rest of your day. Peace out.